Oh, I did made a mistake.
Oh yeah. It's gonna freeze. It's gonna get down to 18 to I don't know, sometime in the next day or two. We
We're
have
-2.
oh my God. But in Houston, I mean, we're getting like 4 inches of snow.
I know.
And
That's
it's just
crazy.
a good, it's okay. It is crazy. So I tell everybody, because we're not used to this, open up your attic door. Seriously, because the pipes are all there. Y'all's are all underground, right?
Mhm.
See,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
Has to. Okay. Oh, I need to hit record. Shit.
I don't know how you know how to do all this. I'd go crazy.
Oh my God. It's not easy for me. All right. Well, hello everybody. We have started early and this will also be recorded and then put on the regular YouTube. But we are here with the lovely thumbs, or Carney hands, Carney big. So we're here with the lovely Veronica Drake at veronicadrake.com. Her information will be splashed on the screen and will always be in the description box, of course. A lady of many talents. Would you like to say anything about what's going on in your life, Veronica, before we begin?
I'm looking forward to 2025. I can't wait to see what the tumbleweed that's coming in is going to create in a good way.
What? What's the tumbleweed?
The tumbleweed, like everything's shaken up, right?
I know, it
Ooh, and
is.
I'm excited for it. I, for one, love change, so
Me
I'm ready
too.
to rock and roll.
I am too. It's awesome. All right, today we're going to answer questions for people. Please see that the donation button for Paola for her documentary the money does not go to me. Okay, guys. I always feel bad asking for money, but this is for a really good cause to get the Chilling Eric documentary. So whatever you can donate, just hit the little dollar sign at the bottom, where right next to where you type in your chat. And just donate what you can. It's super important to me to make sure that Eric's story gets out there because I want to make sure I do everything I can to make sure his death was not a tragic waste. So please do that. Also, I want you to know that I'm not going to send flyers out for every single live. I'm going to do it for the main ones. I'll put it on social media, but well, I don't have to think about that. So just make sure you hit the notification button so you get notified when the lives start. But I just don't want to spam. I just totally flood people's emails, but I probably will. Anyway, what
Hey,
else do I
I have
want?
a question because I'm new to this. Am I supposed
Yeah.
to be seeing anything right now, like in the YouTube? Is that how this works? I know. I'm sorry.
No. Well, are you on YouTube?
I don't know what I'm on here. I'm on Zoom with you. That's all I know.
Okay, that's all you need to know. But you
Okay.
will see it. You will see everything in the record when
Oh, okay.
afterwards. If you go to the live section, it'll be on up there. But also, Paula will put it on their YouTube channel with their special magic.
Sorry. I'm all brand new to this.
You're fine. You're gonna be old hat pretty soon. All right, so I want you guys to know that I've noticed something about the scalar work. It seems to even work better now. It always was great with a low failure rate, but I really believe, and I'm going to ask Eric this. It's because I put all the Arcturian symbols and I say the mantras every other frequency. So I'll go like Om Mantaraj for Elisa Medus, Om Kadosh Rashem for Lisa Matthews. I say all this at a 528 hertz tone in my voice and playing. So is that helping? Is
You
this
know,
making
Eric
sense?
says, first of all, do you love me?
I love you. Of course, that goes without saying. I
He's
already
so
told you this
funny.
morning I did.
He's so funny. He's being funny. He
Oh,
says what you are doing is pure perfection, and the proof will be in the
we.
feedback.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we are getting feedback. People say our crystals that we're encoding, you hold them and they vibrate. And oh, you don't know this, Veronica, but one lady was meditating with her crystal. She opened her eyes and there were two fairies. I mean, totally 3D fairies. That
Is
cool?
this Julie?
Huh?
Is it Julie?
Yes.
She's a client of mine, and I'm going to
She's
tell you what,
awesome.
she was off the hook excited, and she sent me that, and I was like, oh
She's
my God,
beautiful.
she is an amazing human being. And I want to tell you something. I have chills talking about those crystals. I need to get one from you.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So anyway, also currently we have until the end of the year the new you for the new year sale, bundle sale. So check that out. And that's all the announcements I have. Sorry, part of a tree just died. All right, now we are going to talk about now. Wow, I'm going to pick those who donate money as a priority, guys. It's just the way it is. But I also do get to people who don't donate, so please don't feel like you have to donate. All right, we're going to talk to Viktor Frankl. I forgot we're going to do that. Born 1905, died 1997. He was an Austrian neurologist, psychologist, philosopher, and Holocaust survivor who founded logotherapy, a school of psychotherapy that describes a search for life's meaning as a central human motivational force. In 1942, just 9 months after his marriage, oh God, Frankl and his family were sent to the Theresienstadt concentration camp. His father died there of starvation and pneumonia. In 1944, Frankl and his surviving relatives were transported to Auschwitz. Can you say that for me?
Auschwitz.
Where his mother and brother were murdered in the gas chambers. Oh my God. His wife, Tilly, died later of typhus in Bergen-Belsen. Frankl spent 3 years in 4 concentration camps. His book, oh, that's who he is. Man's Search for Meaning was published in 1959 and became an international bestseller. He died at the age of 92. So we have some questions for him from the community. Is he here, Victor?
He very much is present, and he and Erik have been having conversations for the last maybe 30 minutes. I'm getting ready and I'm connecting to these two, and it's just like, oh my God, it's incredible.
Oh, wow. Now, Victor, thank you for coming. And I hope that we find meaning from what happened in your life. Your life lessons seem to be that suffering is inevitable. It is not constant. It is not constant. Good. Suffering ceases to be suffering when the meaning behind it's discovered. That's what I keep saying. What I said is because I suffered a lot, not as much as I do, in my childhood, just horrible abuse and stuff. I mean, like broken bones type abuse. And I was such a victim when I was a teenager. Oh, poor me. I had such a terrible. But then I realized, wow, there's meaning behind it. There are valuable lessons in my suffering. So once I realized that, I expressed gratitude toward the suffering, and I realized that I became more assertive, I became more compassionate, I became more nurturing, I became a better human being. Whereas probably if I had not suffered that, I would have grown up to be a shallow, selfish bore. So you and I, we're kind of on the same wavelength, right?
Yes, I would agree. There is a certain level of awareness that you came into because of your suffering, as does all of humanity if they're open
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. So any of you guys suffering out there, please know that there is meaning, there's value in suffering. There really is. And you can disconnect and surrender it once you realize the value and express gratitude for it. All right. Meaning keeps you alive. Can you elaborate on these concepts from the afterlife and if you still stand by them?
I'm sorry, can you read that again to me? It cut off.
Oh yeah. Meaning you say keeps you alive. Can you elaborate on these concepts from the afterlife
Mhm.
and if you still stand by them?
Yes. Yes, of course, I still stand by it. It was my life's work. And what I mean by that in simple terms is you must find the meaning of your life sprinkled throughout all of your life, including the tragedies. The
Yeah.
one important part of all of my journey was how I viewed it,
Yeah.
because suffering is optional, and that has to do with the mind.
Exactly. Must have been very difficult for you to have so many people die. Why were you a survivor, you think? Is there some contract behind all this?
I
Oh
don't
my
know
gosh,
that
thank you guys for donating. Look at them. That's so awesome. Go ahead.
I don't know that it was a contract per se, but I do know that I was given the ability to see the light in every situation. And as I was staying in conditions that were less than favorable, one might
Mm,
say, I was able to shine the light on others. My preparation for this phase of my life was through my life's work, my understanding of the brain, my understanding of not only how you think, but also of the neurological, the working part of the brain.
Okay. You suggested that in the concentration camps, those who lost hope and could not find meaning and purpose in life died soon. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, it's like when you attach your survival or your happiness or your joy or anything attached to external circumstances or conditions, it will always shorten your ability to, we might say, hang on. In other words, what I'm saying is everything really is an internal job.
Oh, that's interesting. Well put. Both logotherapy and stoicism would argue that if a situation cannot be changed, we are challenged to change ourselves. It's a challenge to change yourself. A person has the freedom to alter his attitude to his problem. Do you still stand by this idea? Like if you can't change it, you can change your attitude toward it? This is what we
Absolutely. It's
discussed.
what I lived and died for. It was my life's work. I am here because I want to bring back the understanding that it is an internal job. The world that you're currently living in is going to become much more tumultuous as time goes on. It's inevitable. History shows it. We will repeat ourselves. It's just natural. What you need to survive and thrive through this is understanding yourself from first an internal level, understanding your thoughts, why you have your thoughts, where they come from, and exactly how you can adjust your thoughts. That is the saving grace, as we call it.
Okay, now, guys, I promise you that we don't have that many questions for Victor, so we will get to your personal questions. What was your purpose in this lifetime, and were you a spiritual person?
I was a spiritual person. I am a spiritual person. I continue to influence the masses spiritually. My purpose was to be an illumination, to be a light in this world. And my purpose started at 3 years old. I always knew I was different. I always understood that I had abilities that were just a little bit outside of the norm.
That is so cool. What was your immediate reaction to the deaths of your dear ones in the concentration camp? I mean, did you feel some desperation and hopelessness at first?
I too have human emotions, and I felt
Yeah.
sad. I felt the loss. Yes, I processed, I grieved, but I also understood that there was more than just this physical life. I also understood that they were out of their physical and
Oh,
also their emotional pain. Not
mhm.
everyone in my family had the understanding that I had.
Yeah. So
So
their suffering ended when they left their body.
surviving, me
Oh, I'm sorry.
surviving, whoops,
Yeah. Sorry about that. I spoke over you. At
me,
which point did you start applying your theories to overcome the PTSD from being exposed to the atrocities in the concentration camp?
I started immediately. I
Oh,
understood how it would work. I began my healing the first day that I got on the bus. I knew that I was in for something that wasn't going to be familiar or something that others had ever experienced or known on the level that I was going to experience it. So right away, I put my life's work into play.
did you help the other prisoners have that kind of understanding? Any
I
of
did.
them?
I did.
That's
My
cool.
presence, everything I am about is helping others and showing them the way. When I say helping others, there's a fine line in your world, helping others and enabling others. I am not an enabler. I am a helper. I am a way shower.
So, in other words, did you teach them your theories that, hey, you're suffering, but here's how you change your attitude, your perspective?
My theories were you change a man's mind about what's happening and you change a man's life.
Oh, love that. Shivers, shivers. I wonder what allowed you to be so powerfully forgiving and exist in such a high level of consciousness. Were you there? Were there particular past lives you were drawing upon, for example? I mean, how did you do that?
I understood, as I said, since I was 3 years old, that the way into the light was the way to survive this incarnation. We are not here necessarily to have one way or another. We are here to remember where we came from, to become a member of the body of light that birthed us.
You have a way with words, Victor. Wow. You're changing my life. Even now, nowadays, some people deny the existence of the Holocaust. What would you say to them? Oh my gosh, why? I guess they don't want to imagine that such a horrific event took place. What the heck?
That is people's coping mechanism. People that deny tragedies are looking to self-soothe and self-protect.
What is your opinion on psychology of today and its ability to heal trauma or not?
The psychology of today is helpful, of course, but the psychology of today needs to put into play what I understood, working with the thoughts, the conditioning, and changing what the belief structure is. Some branches of psychology do that, and some don't do it as well. I think any bit of external insight must be coupled with the internal understanding.
Interesting. So, what do you think about EMDR for treating PTSD?
It is a fabulous tool. It empowers and it puts the emphasis on the patient and the connection to healing.
Okay. Do you have any advice for avoiding PTSD after experiencing a traumatic event? Any advice and also for overcoming? So, not only avoiding, but overcoming PTSD.
You can't avoid traumatic stress. You can't. It's part of humanity. It's part of being alive. My whole existence was all about how you think about it.
Yeah.
If we get slammed, if someone hits our finger with a hammer, we look to the fact that, oh, they did something to me. They hurt me. But inside of your mind, you have the ability to let go of what they perceivedly did to you. This isn't about getting even. It isn't about being right. If all those years ago in Auschwitz, I was to think my whole existence is about escaping this hellhole and getting even with these people, I would have surely perished in my first couple of months.
Wow. It reminds me of that story where this lady is looking out the window, spying on her neighbor as she's hanging up her laundry. And she said, "Oh my God, the girl does not know how to wash clothes. They're still filthy." And next day, same thing. She's still on. Somebody got to tell her. Somebody got to show her how to do her laundry. And then the third day, she looked and said, "Wow, she finally learned. Did you tell her how to do laundry?" "No, I just cleaned your window." I
Isn't
love
that the
that.
truth?
That's all perspective, people.
Yep.
All right, can you describe the moment you crossed over? I mean, you believed in an afterlife, you said. So tell me about your transition.
My transition was, as you would imagine, it was very peaceful. I was in my sleep and I naturally understood, inherently understood, that I wasn't going anywhere. I simply lost this density to myself. The fact that we as humans are programmed to understand that density equals aliveness is something that we need to work on as a collective. If we are to understand death, we are to understand the existence of the continuation of life. So it's not about death, it's understanding how we continue living without the density.
Wow. Did you meet Hitler and the other people who persecuted you in the afterlife?
I did not necessarily meet Hitler. I was not looking to have that experience. And
Probably a done deal.
as you would understand, what
Yeah.
you have happen to you is completely within your ability to desire it.
Mhm. Okay. Can you tell us about another life you had that influenced your one as Victor Frankl?
I was I was alive. My heart was pulsating during the time of the Christ mysteries.
What is that?
I walked on the earth the same time as Christ.
Oh, okay.
I did not know Christ. I did not intersect with Christ, but the frequency that was Christ permeated the land and the understanding. And inherently in that life, I just understood the Christ principles.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And you were Jewish this life, so that's kind of odd, but so was Jesus. Yeshua, excuse me.
Jesus, yeah.
What advice do you have for Jewish people living now? And I'd like to know, why is there anti-Semitism? What is the deal? I don't understand. Is it because they killed Christ, or what is it? Maddening.
Anti-Semitism is born out of fear and ignorance. And anti-Semitism is born out of every belief that someone is different than you are. The understanding that we all have the same color blood isn't understood by everyone. We look at what we don't understand, and what do we do instantly? We fear it.
What are we don't do that very much, I don't think, with Native Americans or Asians. I don't understand that why.
It's there. It's there. If you were to, people have learned to take it and put it underground and to bury it, which is not a good thing to do, because then it boils and there's resentment for a
Creates
collective.
disease, trapped emotions.
You will always have somebody that is the extreme.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, you don't see people protesting on college campuses against Asians.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I would agree with you. There is not a tie, as I can see it, to Jesus Christ. I don't see
Okay.
anything in that regard.
Okay. We just don't know. It's just in the DNA, ancestral DNA. Do you have any advice for Jewish people that are alive now?
I would have advice for all people, including the Jewish people.
Good.
Make
That's
sure,
the next question.
make sure that your own heart is clean. Make sure that you are in a space of forgiveness and love. I know that it might sound contrite, and I know for some of you that this might not sound as powerful as it should. After all, atrocities happen. How do you forgive? Well, that's a question you ask yourself. And the way that you forgive is an internal thing. Forgiveness is a choice.
It's surrendering.
It's a
And both of these are
decision.
so hard. Yeah.
It's a decision that you make.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I think it's very difficult. I still have a hard time forgiving my sister. I've forgiven my father and my mother because they were just mentally ill, but it's just really
Decision is a
hard. It's like
choice.
surrendering. It's so hard. Letting
Decision
go.
is a choice. Decision
It
is
is
a
a choice.
choice. I will keep saying it until you decide to forgive. Once you decide to forgive, I forgive you for X, you let it go. You don't
Yeah.
lament on it. It
I'll
doesn't
try.
get to affect your energy.
Yeah. I'll work on it. Now, also I've been reading a lot about lithium, low dose lithium, since you know a lot about this kind of thing. The groundwater in the soil is pretty much deficient. And so I think, and others think, that this explains the rise of mental illness, depression, suicide, and even some chronic diseases like diabetes and obesity and all that in the developed world. We have just depleted lithium, and it's an essential mineral. So a lot of people are trying low dose, like lithium orotate, which you can get on Amazon, and to correct that. Do you think that this is causing the increase? I mean, in part, causing the increase in the diseases, mental and physical, of the developed world?
Of course it is. And you hit the nail on the head when you said in part. There
Yeah,
isn't
important.
one fix. So I don't want people to run to low dose lithium and think that's the end all be all, because
Take me to your doctor.
coupled with external has to be internal. I cannot emphasize it enough.
That makes sense. Anything else you want to say, Senor Frankl, before we start taking questions? Then hang around, because some of them might be for you, if you don't mind.
I think we've covered a lot of ground here, and I think that we do it in slow pace.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest lessons to be learned here is that you have all the power. And if you take on the understanding that everything is within your own thoughts, you will begin to heal.
Okay. Y'all that are donating, please make sure you write your question in the donation box. Otherwise I have a hard time finding it. Now, I've also forgot to remind you, beside the year for the new year bundle sale that Luca set up, we also have 10% off of every crystal for when you buy a service, and that's going to be a permanent thing. So anyway, all right, so let's see. Oh, thank you, Zane Spice. You're back again. Thank you for your donation. All right, greetings. I was curious about my first psychedelic experience. I encountered beings that kept saying to me, "You are not ready." Who were these beings and what did they mean? That might be a one for you, Eric.
Erik says that you
Oh,
saw
wait, I need to go
ascended
back.
masters.
Ooh.
You saw the higher team, he's calling them. They don't necessarily need names, but they were very ascended. You went right in. Erik says you passed a few dimensions. You
Oh,
the exacerbated journey took you into an area that had you been exposed to it, you would not have been able to come back and exist in this place and this time. So they were the ascended masters. You saw some pretty powerful energies, Erik says.
okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Linda Egan. She donated, but I don't see a question. I hope I remember to look for it. You know, my brain. I need to start taking lithium. Also, it slows down Alzheimer's and dementia a lot. All right. Tiled. We don't have his full name or her. When will I meet my person? You guys be sure you put everything in here, your initials at least, maybe the town you live in, etc. Do you happen
Erik,
to know?
Erik wants to start out and giving this to everyone. He says, everybody listen up. The generalization of when will I meet my person is always based on your ability to have free will. When will I meet my person is a question that really can't be answered specifically.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh, sweet. Okay, trying to find something. This next question, what? This is from, and thank you all. I'm automatically thanking people for their donation. Just be assured that I'm grateful. Paula is grateful. Amber wants to know what Atlantic scalar crystal would be best for me. Amber M from Philly, PA. So I've renamed them because people don't speak Arcturian, so Kadoish, Rashem, and Arcturian. But you can probably pick it through the new names: Serenity Crystal, Harmony Crystal, the Cleansing Crystal, Grounding Crystal. Can't remember the Manifesting Crystal. I can't remember. But
Erik says, read the names and feel your body. Trust the
yeah,
vibrations that come from the name. And that, my dear, is your crystal.
and you can use a pendulum, but be sure you protect yourself with a prayer of, protection prayer. And then you ask, okay, Erik, show me your yes, blah, 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 show me your no, and then ask for each crystal. Or you can put the names of the crystal on post-it notes, crumple them up, and see which one, has a yes. That way you know your higher self is not interfering, or your conscious mind is not interfering. All right, Anthony K. I'm wondering if our dog Tilly that passed 2 weeks ago was some sort of spirit guide or advanced soul. She was so sweet. Anthony K. from Nokomis, Florida. Wow. I'm looking
Anthony,
for Linda Egan. Oh,
your beloved was your spirit guide, and your beloved was your soulmate. Your beloved has not gone anywhere. If you want evidence of that, just feel for your beloved. They're still with you. If you have any other pets in your house, they will know when your beloved is near.
wow. Now, Linda Egan, she donated but didn't give a question, but I think we can help her because she says, I need this right now about suffering. So obviously, Linda, you're suffering. Erik, first of all, can you help her, please? And secondly, what advice do you have for her?
So Victor wants to step in here, and Victor wants to assure her that her ability to not suffer is within, but also he's suggesting that maybe she look into some form of external therapy in terms of chemical imbalance. So maybe the chemistry is off. Erik is also saying you've had a lot happen to you, and you are in the space that you are beginning to heal it. Much like a scab on a wound, it itches when it gets right to the space of healing. You are beginning to feel the effects of it even more now. Guided journey will help you. Guided journey. Oh, the therapy, but the chemical therapy.
Oh, like ayahuasca or something like that?
Eric is saying
Psilocybin?
go traditional.
Go traditional. Okay, got it. Got it.
Mhm.
Oh, like Spravato? That's a
Something
possibility.
traditional that only your doctor will know
Oh,
because
okay.
we're
Like
working in
an
conjunction with
intranasal ketamine, maybe something like
something like that.
that. Okay. Now I do have a one that I forgot to ask on the live from Shannon Grace Cisneros. Shannon from Fresno, California. My mom, Kathy, and husband, Steve, had a very negative, tense relationship with each other for many years. Puts her in a very difficult position, stuck in the middle between them, like I'm the center of a tug of war. Is this issue between them a past life thing? I mean, what's going on there?
They're both hungry for power, Eric says. They're both struggling to be number one, not only in your life, but in the life. This has to do everything with ego in this life. They both think they deserve, and they both may have a touch of narcissism. So when two
Yeah.
narcissists collide, look
Was
out.
there was were they in a past life together that was very similar?
Eric is not highlighting that as the
Okay.
cause of this.
Okay.
This is current ego.
Okay. By the way, Victor, is there any way that you can help Linda Egan from your side? Give her, you know.
I will send her all of the energy that she needs to do her internal work. Yes, I will surround her and I will be with her.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Are my parents, this is Blissfully Renee. Thank you for your donation. Are my parents there together? And are there any messages from either mom or dad from Renee? But we don't have the last name, so we need names, people, but
Renee, your parents are together and I see them dancing in the kitchen. I don't know if that's a literal dancing in the kitchen or Eric says, but they are holding each other close and there is movement in the kitchen. So we're calling it dancing in the kitchen.
okay. All right, great. Now be sure y'all write your questions in the yellow or green or whatever boxes, different colors, I don't know why. So Sue Francis, I'm hoping you have a question somewhere. Linda Egan, she actually did have a question, but she didn't put it in the box. But does her do her parents have any messages for her?
Your parents are watching over you,
Oh,
and your parents are offering you all the help you need for your current situation in terms of thinking about them and feeling them. Knowing
mhm.
what they would have said or done is imprinted in you. Be with them.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Mary Lavoie. My father has passed away. Any messages from him? Don't forget names, first names, people.
He says to watch out for falling coins.
Hmm.
Falling coins, as in, I will give you signs that I am there by dropping money.
Good. Make it like dollar, silver dollars, please, or
Falling
C notes.
coins. Yeah, I love that.
Kidding. All right. Peaches Jones. What was that, the being that told me I had to go break something or go roller skating before I had my heart attack?
Not
We
much.
needed the names are not enough too. Jones is very
Uh,
common.
I had to go break something.
I don't
Eric,
know. Rephrase that if you don't
yeah,
mind.
come back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Unapologetic Mel, thank you. Does my daughter, Spirit Blue Anderson, have any messages for me? I miscarried her in November 2023, and I'm struggling to cope because I don't have any kids. If you have trouble getting pregnant, I can tell you, give you some, if you email me, I can give you some information if it's not too late.
Your child is with you, and your child is ready to come back in.
Ooh, then you better email me. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hang on, looking. Okay. Lucia, hello, Elisa Veronica. What's the right career for me? I don't experience severe burnout again. Okay, so what's the right career that won't, that she won't be burned out? That's important, man.
Erik says, let's be clear about this. Understanding the right career for you is first understanding yourself. What
Yeah.
brings you joy in this world? If going and making coffee for somebody 8 hours a day brings you joy, then go figure out how to make coffee. But humanity doesn't live like that. Humanity goes, I have to be about survival, which is normal. We need to make enough money to survive.
Yeah.
But Erik says it's time that we look in and search our hearts. What brings us joy? If sitting in circle with pre-K children brings you joy, figure out how to get your joy that way. So find your
Oh,
joy.
okay. Peaches Jones. Her name is Ashley. So probably Ashley Jones. And I can't remember what the question was because I got that. Oh, here we go. Um, what was being told? It was some being told her something before her heart attack. Let's just give it that. What was that? I think that's what it is. But
Uh,
Peaches, Ashley, give us more explanation if you don't mind.
Actually, yeah, Erik said, I mean, help us understand because there's so many ways this could go.
Yeah. Oh, I had my nowhere tell me I had to go break something nowhere out of nowhere she's probably and I was going to be okay if I went roller skating, which led me to the ER for my heart attack.
Oh, oh, Erik says, well, that was your guardian angel.
Oh, wow. Good. All right. Johnny Anderson, what do I need to let go of to succeed in my life?
Expectations.
Oh God, that's hard.
Expecting it will always push it further away. You
Mm.
release it to the universe and you let it happen. Really hard to do. Erik suggests writing it down on a piece of paper and setting it on fire. Let the universe take it.
Okay. All right, so we're about to close, guys. I just want to let you know. Renee, her blissfully Renee, my cousin Michael K passed on January 12th. Is he there? And are there any messages for his dad, sister, or the remainder of his family? So Michael K, cousin to Renee.
Just understand that this was my time. There was nothing that could have gotten between me and the departure. It was definitely my time. Nobody did anything. Nobody could have done anything.
Yeah. All right. Erik, any other messages for the crowd? Thank y'all for your donations. You can keep donating if you want.
He
Hint.
says, keep the
I
power within
appreciate it.
yourself. Keep the power within yourself.
Oh, Bill Watkins wants to know actually how he can get rid of his IBS. Is it inflammatory bowel or is it irritable bowel? Email me. I got some suggestions. Anyway, y'all can email me for things at Elisa, Elisa, at atlantascalar.com. And check out Veronica Drake. Thank you, Victor, so much. It was an honor. This is a YouTube that we're going to have to listen to again because what you said, almost every sentence was just filled with wisdom and things that shiver down my spine. So I really appreciate you. I love you, Veronica. I love you, Erik, and I love you, Victor.
Bye bye.
Bye. See ya.